Hey, my name is Eric. In today's video, we're talking about how to start an LLC in New York State. So in this video, there's going to be a lot of content, a lot of resources. To get things started, what I wanted to do is just kind of have a table of contents to set the expectations. So what we're going to be looking at is 3 different methods for starting an LLC. There's the DIY method through your state website and with New York State. You can hire an attorney, and I'm going to show you how you can vet an attorney, but also be able to do it and get a free consultation through the process. And then lastly, we're going to talk about free online tools that are available to you. So throughout this video, there's going to be some key takeaways and resources. Know that in the description of this video, I will have links for every resource that I mentioned in this video. So I want to make it just kind of this really helpful content library for you so you can go through and reference things. And some of the key takeaways we're going to be talking about is what an LLC actually does. A lot of people are confused about that, so I'm going to be talking about that briefly. A very important term, if you've never heard of it, it's called piercing the corporate veil. Very, very important. That also goes along with what we're going to be talking about with registered agents and explaining that. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some Learning Center resources. So going to the Learning Center resources actually, and we're going to start with that. There's a service here called InkFile. It's one of the online tools that you can set up an LLC through, but they have a Learning Center here and there's a lot of good resources. And I think one of the great ones here is Start a Business Checklist. So this will be in the description below, a link to this, but this is really helpful if you're starting your business and just getting set up. It's going to walk you through every single checklist point that you need to do and just kind of give you a little drop down information on that. It's very cleanly organized and it's not very overwhelming. I know that it can be overwhelming going through this process because I live in New York State and I had to set up my LLC, and that's why I'm making this video for you to make things easier. So one of the first things too I want to talk about for a nice resource here for you is the IRS website on limited liability companies. Obviously a very official resource for you. Not always the cleanest layout, but what you're probably going to need for this is the employee ID number, your EIN. If you're setting up a business, you want to set up an EIN. This will walk you through if you need this and then how to apply. The reason I mention this is a lot of services are going to charge you several $100s to do this for you. You can do it for free, setting it up yourself directly through the IRS. So that's why I give you this website. So the first thing I want to talk about here is forming a limited liability company in New York. This is what the website looks like for New York State here. What you're looking for is in the right-hand side is the online filings, and you'd go to LLC formation. And when you click that, what it's going to do is take you to this page right here. Now, what you will have to do is log in and register at some point as you're going through this, but you can apply as an owner or on behalf of another person. I do have it highlighted here that there's a fee of $200. And then when you do the availability of name, so is that name available? There's an optional $5 fee here to look that up as well. And then eventually there'll also be a certificate of publication, which is $50. So what you do is click apply online as an owner. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with any New York State websites or even your county or anything like that. Even though this looks nice, I wanted to take you through this and get to the spot here where it's talking about service of process or registered agent. And for whatever reason, I can't even get past this section and I don't even know what it means. It's talking about like type indicator applicable to specify entity type not found. And I think a lot of times these state websites, they don't have the best UI. So we'll find another way that you can do it if you don't want to go through the frustration of going through the state website. But at this particular point, what I want to talk about is what is an LLC and what it is not. So the common misconception that a lot of people have is that an LLC is for tax purposes. It is not. It is just strictly for limiting your liability. So you have your business assets and your personal assets. And what the LLC does is it creates a division, that dotted line you see on the screen. It's the division between your personal and business assets. So if you were to get sued, the attorney that is suing your company, your business, what they're going to do is they're going to try to find cracks in your LLC. And the technical term for that is piercing the corporate veil. And the way they do this is they want to see if it was set up correctly. Do you have a registered agent on file? Is that registered agent legit? Are you up to date with New York State with your paperwork and renewals? Are you paying all the fees that you're supposed to be paying? And if they can find a way that that LLC has a crack in it, they're going to pierce the corporate veil. And what it does is it erases that legal protection you have between your personal and business assets so that the people that are suing you are able to go after your personal assets, including your home, cars, and personal bank accounts. So it's very important that you set things up correctly. Now, one of the items I mentioned is a registered agent. Again, in the Learning Center here at InkFile, they talk about registered agents. I want to scroll down and just kind of explain what a registered agent does. Basically, it's a third party that's going to accept your legal documents for you for your LLC. It is required that you set up with a registered agent. Some people try to get cute and make it like their brother or sister. And then what happens is that registered agent isn't legit, and it can create issues for you because maybe they're not sending you the right paperwork, they're not forwarding you documents, and they're also not making sure that you're renewing and setting up with the state and making sure you're taking care of everything with your business. Right here, I also have it highlighted. There are other names for registered agent. Agent for service of process. If we go back to the New York State website, you can see that it's called service of process registered agent. I just make sure that you're aware of this because you want to have a legit registered agent. Don't try to get cute and set up with a friend or something like that to save a couple bucks. So one of the things I want to talk about now is if you don't want to go through the New York State website because maybe you're running into issues like this where you can't even get past the name of your limited liability company because it's giving you a weird error message, is you can go through an attorney and have them apply for you. A service that I like for this, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, I've just used them in the past and I think they're great, is a lawyer directory service called Avo. So what you can do is put LLC, and then what I would do is put in New York, and I'm just gonna put New York, not New York, New York. So the important thing on here is that when you do a search, you can narrow your results by your specific area. So a really important part of this is to click this free consultation button over here. And what I'll do is I'll just give you this link right here in the description below. So then if you do want to kind of, narrow it down by your specific city, you can do that. But what I would recommend next is just kind of look at how many reviews they have. What is their Avo rating? And you know that they offer a free consultation. It may cost, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 to go through an attorney to set up your LLC. But if you have a more complex situation, you have a business that's making cash, maybe you're doing, business out of state, in state, and you have a lot of things going on, then you probably want to go the route of hiring an attorney. Now, this is a good point to mention that I am not an attorney or CPA. I'm just someone in New York State who has spent a lot of time researching this. And I wanted to make sure that you know everything that's afforded to you as far as the resources that are available to you. So again, this is a helpful service. I will have that filtered link for you in the description below. So the last thing I want to talk about is using an online tool such as LegalZoom. These services are nice because they're put together a little bit more thoughtfully than the state websites. Again, going back to the state website, you can see that I'm having trouble getting past the first thing here. The downside of this tool here is that you can see that there's a $79 package fee and then it's filing fees. So that $205 for New York State, you're not going to be able to get around that. But on top of that, there's a $79 fee. As far as these tools go, I recommend to a lot of people InkFile, which I've already shown you. They have a great learning center with lots of resources here. But what you'll find is they've been around since 2004 and they have over 250,000 businesses that they've launched, but it's $0 to get set up. So if you click launch my business here and you go to LLC and then you go to your state, New York State, what you'll see is they have a silver plan here. This is a $205 state fee, but the package fee is $0. And the other thing on top of that is they have a free registered agent service for a year. Now I should mention that the link that I have in the description below for InkFile is an affiliate link. So I will make a commission, but it's still $0 for you to get set up if you do end up going this route. I appreciate you using my link because it allows me to make more helpful content for people such as yourself. And I really do truly appreciate that. Now, a couple things that I do want to make mention here is like, you might be wondering like, well, what's the catch if people are doing it this way? How are they making their money? So the way they're doing that is if, again, we go back to the registered agent page here on InkFile and you scroll down further, you can see that it's $0 business formations, free for the first year, but then it's $119 annually after that. You can opt out of their registered agent service in the future if you so desire. But in my opinion, for $119 a year, you have somebody who is an official registered agent who's making sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's with your business so that there's no cracks in your LLC is very important. The other thing I wanted to mention too is that there are some added upsells here like business banking account or business tax consultation. From going through this process on InkFile, those are actually free additions that they do have in the silver package. Really, the thing that's nice in the gold package, in my opinion, is they do the EIN business tax number for you, which was a pain in the butt. But if you recall earlier in this video, I do have a link to the IRS website where you can go through and get set up with your EIN. So the last thing I want to talk about is how to save on taxes. The video on the screen here, you will see an InkFile review. And in that review, I will explain the S-Corp tax calculator and how you can potentially save on taxes by setting up as an S-Corp. Thank you guys for watching my video. I'm going to catch you in the next video. And please do check out those links in the description below. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next video.